Okay, so Resident Evil series. Um, the CGI was tacky. I'm sure you guys know that, like, the CGI, especially towards the end, um, it was very tacky. It looked a lot like Sharknado. I don't understand why they didn't just limit it down. Just have like a dozen extras with zombie makeup, like Walking Dead, for example, and just limit it down and make it more realistic rather than using CGI that's too tacky, in my opinion. Personally, if I was the director and I saw that, I would have just said to him, right, scrap the CGI and just go straight to using extras. Um, the costumes were badass. I loved the villains all in black. I thought that was pretty cool. I loved the start where you saw the main character in like red overalls with red spray paint. Thought that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, the red smoke was awesome. I loved that scene. The female lead, no weapons at the start, so she's out and about trying to understand the zombies. And she has that firewall thing where she runs to it because she bled, and then it killed all the zombies around her. But she has no weapons. Like, even if not a gun, you'd have a knife at least. She has nothing. She just runs around with no weapons. No weapons, and I wrote down female lead, no weapons in a zombie apocalypse. The guy from John Wick, I thought he's pretty awesome. I also thought he was a bit still, which is like how he is in John Wick as well, actually. But it is awesome to see him. I loved it when he was pretty much like Blade, which was his original self in the series. So the two main characters, I thought the entire storyline was really dragged. So the two main female characters as kids were little. Well, one of them was a little brat who I just went to slap. It kind of dragged on a bit, like a lot. Whenever you do a series or a movie about zombies, all you want to see is zombies biting people, or people killing zombies. You don't really care much for dialogue. Though I thought the storyline between the two sisters was fairly decent, where at the end you see that the sisters, the evil sister is on the opposite side, and that they're both enemies. So I'm hoping next season we get to kind of build on that. Also, let's cut to the chase because the series just drags on a bit. I love the fact that the main character at the start acknowledged not destroying zombies but living amongst them, and you've got to learn how to coexist. I love the way it was filmed. That's pretty cool. So one of the two sisters at the start decides that she wants to steal the rabbits that are in the facility. They never say why. They just said, "Oh, we've got to." She just says, "We've got to save this rabbit." And why? What's your motive? Why do you want to save it? Save it from what? You don't know what's going on. So you kind of don't have a motive for going into the restricted section. You want to save a rabbit, but what from? You don't know anything. You don't know anything about it. It might just go to its owner. You don't know anything. So you don't have a motive for wanting to steal the rabbit. Okay, so they go into the facility, or the attic. No, it's the facility. They go into the facility, and the main character as a kid knows the computer login somehow. She just knows it somehow. No idea why or how. Ending of episode 1. The sister's alive. I thought that could be a good ending to the first season, is knowing that the sister's still alive, the other sister. But you find that out at the end of the first episode, when the guy says that your sister's a psycho. It's filmed with no common sense whatsoever. It's filmed with no common sense. The father's too calm as an actor. Common sense, move away from danger. Half the time they don't move. It's like, move your ass, zombies are chasing you. Um, zombie spider, the zombie spider runs at her, and she doesn't run. Why don't you run? Oh yeah, I put down sisters get on with it. It was just, it kept on going on a bit. It was really boring. The acting weren't great, I'll be honest. The acting was not great. From some of them. Yeah, some of the camera angles took away tension from the scenes, I found, as well. I think I would have rethought how it was shot, from shot to shot, and some of the camera angles, because some of the ways that they used the camera shots and angles and the way they used it, moved it around, actually took tension away from the scenes, which they could have used to have built on, really. And so that just goes to show, depending on how you film a scene, depends on how effective it is, not just the acting, obviously. Too many handheld camera movements. I'll put that down at the time. The soundtrack was a bit shit, I'll be honest. It kind of let down, again, that also brought down some of the tension as well in some of the scenes. Okay, so she tells her daughter to leave the ship, and then when she realizes that her daughter's no longer on the ship, she's somehow shocked. I don't know how. You literally told her to leave the ship, and then you forgot, and then you were surprised that she left. Again, like, I just a little I don't get it. Okay. Again, I put down Sharknado because the graphics were that bad. I love the bit where the villain shot her son in the face. I thought the villain played it really well. The only downfall was the fact when they got her to do that dance scene in the tent. It was so cringe. So cringe. That's all I've got for that, but it was just so cringy. Fucking hell. We'll see what happens, but it was a letdown, really. It was a huge letdown. The sister panicked a lot, and then called in 3 drones last second, and they took out all the zombies around her. It's like, why didn't you just do that to begin with? Why did you panic? Why not just call in the drones whilst your men were still alive? Common sense.